בחייכון וביום אחרון ובחיי כל בית ישראל בגאלה ובזמן קריב וימרו Ador v'taleh v'talol Shemei d'Kudashah Le'ela u'le'ela Min kol birchata v'shirata Tush b'chata v'lechamata
Shofar
Ba banu lefanecha Avinu Malkeinu Chamol Aleinu Ve'alol Aleinu V'tapeinu Avinu Malkeinu Kal Erev Ve'erev Ve'ra'ah Me'aleinu Avinu Malkeinu Kal Echotzah U'mazim Me'aleinu Avinu Malkeinu
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Good Yontiv. Welcome to Temple Beth Or and our Erev Shabbat, Erev Rosh Hashanah worship services. We hope you appreciated our Erev Rosh Hashanah overture, featuring selections from last year's Rosh Hashanah service, an opportunity for us to deepen the high holiday services a bit more by including some of our past performances with our choir. This year is truly a very strange year and a strange Rosh Hashanah service for us. We miss you. We wish we could all be together here in our sanctuary. But in absence of that, we are grateful to be able to be with you here in this space that we have created thanks to our internet and thanks to our technical advisors. I'm especially grateful to Phil Carey and all of his hard work behind the scenes in getting what you are about to see together. We have a number of congregants who are participating in our worship services via pre-recorded videos. And so, Phil, thank you very, very much for all of your hard work in getting these lined up. I am also especially grateful to David Youngman and his wonderful assistance in being here with us and being our liaison to what's happening in the internet feed so that we can better present to you our Rosh Hashanah worship services. Joining me, of course, is our cantor, Ariel Goldfarb, and our accompanist, Dr. Ray Irwin. Thank you both for being here with us on these truly bizarre high holiday services. We begin with a word from our board of directors, an opportunity for us to acknowledge that we are in the high holidays, absolutely, but that Temple Beth Or needs your help and your assistance. We do indeed. Our membership dues and donations do not cover all of our costs. I invite you to hear the words of our board of directors.
I'm Dina Jastrow, President of Temple Beth Or. You may be wondering why you should support TBO. Everyone has their own feelings of what our temple means to them. The board of directors of our congregation share what TBO means to them and why they are willing to volunteer their time in support of our mission to provide a Jewish home and continued educational opportunities and social events here in La Mirada and surrounding communities. I wish you Shana Tova.
Hello, this is Peggy Horwitz, and I'm involved in temple life because it culminates in an important education for members of all ages.
Bracket Tower, November Foxtrot 114 Alpha Uniform. Taxi to holding area requesting permission for departure runway 26 right. Outside temperature 109er. May have difficulty getting lift. Please advise. Over. Bracket Tower Roger, standing by. Hi there. Before I leave on my trip, I just wanted to share with you that I get a lot of lift out of knowing that I'm keeping a great synagogue physically alive and fully functional to serve my family and others. Join me in supporting Temple Beth Or. Gotta go now. Bracket Tower 114 Alpha Uniform, Roger, Squawk 2000, out.
Hello, my name is Sherry Held, and I am the chair of the House Committee. We give to ensure our children's education, keep our traditions alive, and nurture our Jewish spirituality.
My name is David Youngman, and I am the immediate past president of Temple Beth Or. I want you to know that Temple Beth Or allows me to express my Judaism. Bruchim habaim, everybody.
Hi, I'm Donna Berglas-Hess, your Temple Beth Or treasurer. During these trying times, it's important to remember why we're members of Temple Beth Or. We don't always get to choose our first family, but we do get to choose our second family, and I choose Temple Beth Or. Shana Tova.
Hi, I'm Susan Carey, publicity, social media, and beacon editor. TBO has reconnected me to the traditions and language of my ancestors.
Hello, my name is Chris Jastrock. I'm co-chair of the ICR committee here at Temple. And the reason I'm still with Temple Beth Or after 4 decades is because it's like home. It's warm, welcoming, and caring. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Flo Bornstein, Vice President of Membership at Temple Beth Or. Come join us for our services. You'll be inspired, but you'll come back for our friendliness.
Hi, I'm Dana Porter. I'm one of the Vice Presidents of the Education Committee. TBO is my home away from home. It provides me and my family with a place of peace and comfort.
I got involved when my kids were in religious school. I was inspired to learn Hebrew, study, and become an adult bat mitzvah. Leslie Berger, Ways and Means Chair.
I'm Jody Green, co-vice president of the Education Committee. TBO is the place I can go to feel welcomed, seen, and safe amongst others like me.
I'm Joe Tejas, the co-vice president for religion, and to me, Temple Beth Or represents my connection to the Jewish faith and to our community.
Hi, my name's Joanne Kotkin, and I'm Temple Beth Or's Sisterhood President. I support TBO because TBO provides a love of Judaism in my children.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Howard Levoot, and I'm the President of Brotherhood. I've been a member of Temple Beth Or for 50 years. I've had my bar mitzvah, confirmation, and I was married there. Happy holidays.
Good Yom Tov. My name is Neil Rosen. I am the Senior Director of Activities for Temple Beth Or. Temple Beth Or has many activities for different age ranges. My favorite is Tea with the Rabbi on Tuesdays. Good Yom Tov.
Hi, my name is Sharon Kravitz. I appreciate the intimacy of a small temple where we can make a difference. Hope you can also join us and help make a difference.
Thank you very much, Temple Board of Directors. I hope you will join with them and Deborah and myself in giving to our High Holiday Appeal. You can go to tbolm.org and click the Donate tab at the top of the page, and you can find your way to our High Holiday Appeal. In addition, we have a number of personal greetings from our congregants. Again, part of the joy of Temple Beth Or is our Hamishness and our sense of community. We do that through great participation of all of our Temple Beth Or members. And here is a video greeting from a number of our congregants, our members, expressing personal greetings to you on this Rosh Hashanah holiday.
L'Shana Tova.
We wish you a safe, healthy, and very happy New Year.
We wish you a very healthy and happy New Year.
Hag Sameach, everybody.
Shana Tova from the Kotkin.
Wishing our whole entire Temple Beth Or family a very happy Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur.
With love from the Kravitz family.
Wishing you a good year of good health and happiness. And next year, hopefully, we will all be together at the temple.
Shana Tova to our TBO family.
Happy New Year from the singers. L'Shana Tova.
Happy, healthy New Year, the Sharps.
Shana Tova to my Temple family and friends.
Shana Tova from Gail and Ellis Porter.
Shana Tova to my Temple Beth Or family.
And may this new year be a much better year for all of us than last year.
Hello, it's Jeffrey and Susan Winston. We wish everybody at Temple Beth Or a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
L'Shana Tova to our TBO family from Donna, Alyssa,
Art,
and Daisy and Sophie. Love you all.
I want to wish Temple Beth Or a happy, healthy New Year and peace along with it. And I'd like to be here next year and do the same thing with you people. And I hope that you're all here, you reach my age and are well, and we can all meet, if not before, by 2021 in the temple. I love you all.
Wonderful. Thank you all so very much for extending those terrific greetings. In addition, we have special Shana Tova and Shabbat Shalom greetings from Harry and Victoria Jacobs, Allegra Gordon, Jeff and Wilma Shear, and David and Sandra Scharf. I do wish to acknowledge that Harry and Victoria are our current board members, and that Jeff Shear is a past president of our congregation. In addition, you will see in the lower corner of your screen our Rosh Hashanah flowers, donated by the Temple Beth Or Board of Directors in honor of Rosh Hashanah. We have these wonderful flowers. In addition, this evening we have a number of participants. I am grateful to our shofar sounders, some of whom you will see very soon, Matthew Hom, Ellie Ursus, and Eddie Goldstein this evening. In addition, our candle lighters that helped us in celebrating and welcoming this Shabbat and Erev Rosh Hashanah include Devorah and Joel Lowenstein, May Salinger, Ben Green, Hannah Green, Sharon and Joe Gorin, Leslie Berger, Sandy Block, and Jimmy Greenspan. The Porter family, including Toby, Dana, Tyler, and Trent. Gloria Austin, Sandy Pascas, her daughter Eileen, and her granddaughter Lillian, and Chris and Dina Jastrock. You will have a chance to see them in just a moment. Again, due to our physical distancing and this COVID-19 year, we have had the opportunity to stretch our technology. And I am grateful for all the participants that you are about to see this evening and tomorrow for meeting in advance to record these. We begin with, of course, the most important element of Rosh Hashanah, and that is the hearing the sound of the shofar. This is our obligation during Rosh Hashanah. We should hear the sound of the shofar. We should understand its call. We've explored this previously in our Tea on Tuesdays at 2 discussion, where we looked deeply at the sound of the shofar. You can go to our webpage and partake of the full discussion. But in the meantime, it is my pleasure and honor to introduce our first shofar caller for the evening. The sound of the shofar. It takes us all back to the first time we heard that mystical sound. Some of us were young children, some of us were adults when we first encountered this sound, and yet it stirs deep within us. It is truly a messenger from the past, and on this Rosh Hashanah and this Shabbat, we acknowledge and welcome all the messengers that have traveled with us this past week, this past year. Be they flesh and blood messengers, be they messengers of memory, be they messengers of spirit. We acknowledge and welcome them all into our lives with the words of Shalom Aleichem. For those of you who have the Machzor with you, you can find it on page 14. The page numbers will appear in the upper corner of the screen so that you will be able to follow along in your Machzorim. Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem,
Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh, Baruch Hu.
These pandemic days have certainly challenged us in so many different ways, and yet they have also opened up for us a number of unique opportunities, such as the opportunity we are about to share in. Normally, on Rosh Hashanah, on Erev Shabbat, we have two helping to light our Shabbat candles. This night, we have included many members of our congregation in helping us light the Shabbat candles here in our sanctuary. And it is to those family members that we now turn. With our candles lit, we continue with an introduction to the words of our Kiddush. If you have juice or wine available, please feel free to pour it into your glass if you have not already done so, as we hear from our Brotherhood President, Howard Levut, with these words introducing the Kiddush.
The commandment to bless this wine is a commandment to drink life as deeply as we drink from this cup. It is a commandment to bless life and to love deeply. It is a commandment to remember our relationship with God, to join with God as partners in the progress of creation, so that by our words, our deeds, and our examples, we might create worlds within others. It is a commandment to laugh until we are all laughter, we sing until we are all sung, to dance until we are all danced, and to love until we are all loved. The observance of Rosh Hashanah reminds us to judge our words and our deeds by the divine standard. It calls us to turn from old errors and failures and to look ahead with fresh hope and determination. Let us praise God with this symbol of joy, the fruit of the vine, and give thanks for the gift of life. May our observance on this day fill us with eagerness to embrace life and sanctify it. May the new year bring renewed courage to us, strength to our people of Israel, and peace to the world.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. Lachaim.
Ribono Shel Olam, Creator of the universe, here I stand, one soul within this community of prayer. Like those around me, I bring my own concerns and yearnings to this place, hoping they will find expression in the time-hallowed words of my people and the traditions cherished by generations before me. May I bring the best of my energies to these Yamim Noraim, these days of awe, approaching this spiritual work with open heart and with open mind, sincerity, and sustained focus on the deep questions of this season. Who am I? How shall I live? Where have I fallen short? And in what ways have I failed? This night, I take up the challenge of these days of awe, a cheshbon hanefesh, searching, examining my life, a moral inventory of my deeds, my words, and my thoughts. During these next 10 days, it is my hope that all of us in this community will do exactly that, to examine our lives and to face the truth about ourselves so that we might listen to your still small voice within us, taking comfort in your promise that we are always free to change, released from staleness and routine. Help me to know the joy of beginning again. May we all gain strength as we share this task with those around us, united by our common purpose, tikkun midot, improving our character, and tikkun olam, repairing this world. I now prepare myself to pray, one soul amidst the holy congregation in which we have all gathered in this virtual space. Ken yehi ratzonenu, so may it be our will. Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, our God and God of our ancestors. May we know your blessings in this year 5,781. Eternal One, bless us with the whole house of Israel, with renewed life, happiness, peace, comfort, and courage, resilience, and strength. May the words of our heart be acceptable to you in this new year that stretches before us. We are forever grateful for the gift of life. We continue with the words of our Baruch Hu, our call to worship.
Baruch Adonai
We continue on page 23 in our Machzorim. The quickening of the moon calls us to return, and we gather, seam dwellers on the edge of the earth. As the sun lowers itself into the sea, introspection rises. A sliver cracks the heart of the firmament, the vast blackness, an invitation to write ourselves anew.
Gets in the way, and listen to our God. When the wind and the thunder finally disappear, there's still a voice that you will hear if you listen to our God.
We continue on page 33. To break the bonds of anger, to be generous of heart. To break the bonds of shame, to live with self-respect. To break the bonds of envy, to serve one another in joy. To break the bonds of boredom, to be attentive to all God's gifts. To break the bonds of fear, to live with courage and strength, to untie the knots of betrayal, to love with fullness of being, to break the bonds of loneliness, to receive a hand of hope, to break the bonds of self-centeredness, to extend a hand of help. Released from the darkness, our people found their freedom at the sea. And we pray for liberation at the dawning of this new year. One day, a few days after the liberation, I walked through the country past flowering meadows, for miles and miles toward the market town near the camp. Larks rose in the sky, and I could hear their joyous song. There was no one to be seen for miles around. There was nothing but the wide earth and sky, and the lark's jubilation in the freedom of space. I stopped, I looked around and up to the sky, and then I went down on my knees. At that moment, there was very little I knew of myself or of the world. I had but one sentence in my mind, always the same. I called to Adonai from my narrow prison, and God answered me in the freedom of space. Baruch atah Adonai, Gaal Yisrael. As we prepare for our tefillah, beginning on page 42 in our Machzorim and following, we are reminded of the challenge of the words of prayer. Prayer is not a vending machine. Prayer is not some magical antidote to the challenges we face. It's not a matter of saying the right words in the right order and getting what you expect. In Judaism, prayer is a reflexive verb. We measure ourselves against the words that we are about to speak. We recall Abraham and Sarah and their children who lived over 4,000 years ago in a time of not only pandemics, but of droughts and infestations and all kinds of diseases that we have since conquered. They had faith in a better tomorrow for their children. And so this prayer challenges us. Have we become so cynical by our modern comforts that we have lost hope in a better tomorrow for our children or for ourselves? Let these words of prayer spur us to action. Let us take these words into our hearts and recognize that we can create that better tomorrow. We continue with the words of our tefillah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim Vekonei Hakol Vezocher Chastei Avot Ve'imahot Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem Lema'an Shemo B'Yahava.
We continue on page 45 in our Machzorim. For us, the book of life has been reduced to words of casual welcome, spoken or written on cards. L'shana tova tikatevu, may you be inscribed for a good year. The book of life, I wonder, is that all it means today? When I hear those words to me have meaning. I do not see a ledger in the skies wherein my fate is written, signed, and sealed, nor do I see some greeting card bedecked with gaily colored scenes, where on the bottom line, unvocalized, appear the words, L'shana tova tikotevu. The book of life to me is a symbol. It says to me, you are recorded. What you say is more than words whispered into the wind. What you are is something more than pebbles on a beach. What you do has an effect. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat. We continue on page 65. After a long illness, I was permitted for the first time to step outdoors. And as I crossed the threshold, sunlight greeted me. So long as I live, I shall never forget that moment. And everywhere in the firmament above me, in the great vault between earth and sky, and on the pavements, the buildings, the golden glow of sunlight. It touched me. It touched me too with friendship, with warmth, with blessing. And I remembered how often I had been indifferent to the sunlight. How often I was preoccupied with petty and sometimes mean concerns. I had disregarded it. And I said to myself, how precious is the sunlight. But alas, how careless of it we are. Source of blessing. May we open our eyes to the radiance around us. May we open our hearts with gratitude and our souls with appreciation. Just as we pray for shalom, wholeness and peace for our world, so too do we want to include those whose shalom, whose sense of peace and wholeness has been shattered by the challenges that they are facing, challenges to their bodies and their minds. Mishaberach avotenu v'imotenu. May the Eternal One who blesses all life bless and strengthen all of us who struggle against illness. Source of blessing, may we open our eyes to, what happened? One moment. May we whose lives are touched by illness be blessed with faith, courage, love, and caring. May we experience the support and sustenance of family, friends, companions, and community. May we be granted restful nights and days of comfort. We pray for a refuah shlema, precious moments of healing, and a sense of wholeness in body and soul. May those who care for the sick with their hands, their voices, their hearts, be blessed with courage and stamina. May those who pursue healing through medical skills and knowledge be blessed with insight, patience, and with compassion. May all of us, the sick and the well together, find courage and hope, and let us all say, Amen. I encourage you during the musical interlude to share aloud the name of a loved one, a family member, friend who is in need of just such a blessing and prayers for healing. We continue in our Machzorim on page 77. We gather on this Erev Rosh Hashanah, this holiday weekend, September the 18th. Indeed, all over the world today, on this very day, everybody, people all around the world are observing the International Grenache Day. That's right, a day devoted to celebrating all things grape, the fruit of the vine that enriches the heart. Wine, one of the oldest fermented beverages in human history, is celebrated on this very holiday of Erev Rosh Hashanah with the International Grenache Day. Did you know that today was the International Grenache Day? No, I didn't know it either. What did we do before the internet? All of the bits of trivia knowledge we are able to pack into our brain or to find easily on our devices. There are so many rituals associated with drinking wine and other alcoholic beverages. Most importantly is the phrase that you say before you drink your beverage. In French, we ought to start with the French. After all, this is the International Grenache celebration of all things grape. So we'll start with French. And in French, you say à la votre santé, or just santé, which of course means to your health. In Czech, Deborah and I learned this when we were in Prague. You say na zdravni, and you pound your glass on the table and chink it and then take a drink. In German, you say Prost or zum Wohl, which means either cheers, Prost, or to your health again. In Spanish, of course, we know here, Southern California, hey, not only wine, but Spanish as well, salud, you say to your health. And if you are Irish Gaelic, you say slancha, which of course means to your health. We Jews, however, we say, yeah, that's right. We say lachaim. We say to life. We say lachaim. And there is something very telling in that phrase. All right, Jews do not say to your health because, well, we don't know for certain what your health is going to be. We all know people who have been healthy one moment and then sadly come down with a terminal disease the next. We Jews, we don't say cheers, well, because nobody knows where cheers came from, except the television show. But before the television show, they were saying cheers. No one knows why we say cheers. We say lachaim, to life, because Judaism values all life. We value all life, regardless of your gender, your skin color, the language you speak, your political affiliation, your country of birth, your sexual orientation. Regardless of all of that, Judaism teaches us that every single human being is created b'tselem Elohim, in the image of God. And when you insult a single human being, you are insulting the Creator. When you belittle a single human being, you are belittling God. But it extends beyond just human beings. Judaism values all life on this planet. We are forbidden to cause animal suffering in Jewish law. We have to feed our animals first. Even on Shabbat, a day of rest, we have to tend to our animals. Those of us who are farmers or who have animals, you still have to tend to them and take care of them. We are forbidden to despoil this planet, the rivers, the lakes, and the forests. Because all of that, all of the animals that we see, the forests, the rivers, and the lakes, all of them existed before human beings emerged on this planet. And so Judaism says all life is sacred. The trees, the rivers, the lakes, the animals, and human beings. We say lachaim to remind us of our obligation to treasure the preciousness of life and not to despoil it, and not to denigrate it, and not to belittle it, and certainly not to pollute it or to just carelessly use it. We say lachaim to life because life is unpredictable and life is uncontrollable. I mean, look at us. This is the year of the pandemic. And everything that we learned in 1918, we had forgotten until now. And now we are reminded, oh yeah, life does this periodically. There are pandemics that emerge. There are plagues that happen. There are devastating effects that occur in life. And so that's why we say lachaim, because we don't control life. Life controls us. Judaism teaches us that we drink from the cup of joy and we drink from the cup of sorrow. And sometimes we do it at the exact same time. And that's why we say lachaim. Exactly for those reasons. Life is unpredictable. Life is uncontrollable. Bad things are going to happen. Good things are going to happen. And they may all happen at the exact same time. And that's why Jews say lachaim. Because we do not know the certainty of our tomorrow. We have lived with the fiction that we know tomorrow. When we go to bed at night, our newscasters tell us what the weather will be. Our newscasters review the news of the day. And so we go to bed at night thinking tomorrow is going to be just like everything they said. And some parts of it will be. But there's a much larger part that is beyond our control. And that's why we say lachaim, to remind us of that uncontrollable aspect of life. If you had told me in November that I would be on Rosh Hashanah, Erev Rosh Hashanah, preaching to an empty sanctuary, I would have said, you're nuts. If you had told me that our entire world would be turned upside down by a microscopic virus, I would have said, no way. I did not listen to what I said when I drank my wine or my beer or my scotch or my bourbon. Lachaim, to life. It is uncontrollable. It is untamable. We say lachaim to life because how we respond to those challenges, how we respond to the challenges of life, that is what defines us. That is where we prove our character. It's not when things are going well. It's easy to behave when everything is going well. It's easy to function when everything is going fine. It's what happened when the stuff hits the fan. It's what happens when a pandemic turns our world upside down. That's when we prove our character. And that's why we say lachaim. We say lachaim because life, and I do believe God, is waiting for us to respond. This is the proof of our existence. When these things happen, when bad things enter our lives, how do we respond? That is what life is waiting for. I think that is what God is waiting for. Show me what you've got. This is it. This is life. It is raw. It is untamable. And bizarre things are going to happen. So, what are you going to do? What do we do when our world turns upside down? We can turn inward, and we can, like Job, wallow in sackcloth and ashes in the street, bemoaning what has happened to us. Life is unfair, said Job. This is horrible. Yeah. Or, as Job learned much later in the book, we can pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. And we can say, yes, this is unfair. We can say, yes, this is not the way it was supposed to be. This is not what I had planned for. This was not what I had expected was going to happen when I got up this morning. We can say all of those things. And then we can rise to the challenge. That is the purpose of the sound of the shofar. It is to wake us up to the fact that we have to respond to this challenge. Because this moment, right here, right now, this is it. That's why we say lachaim. This moment, there is life. Don't know about tomorrow, don't know about the next hour, but this moment right now, with our cups raised, we say lachaim. Because right now there is life, and this is what I'm going to do. I am going to choose life. I'm going to rise to this challenge. I'm going to wear my masks. I'm going to wash my hands. I'm going to keep my distance. I'm going to do everything that I can to make sure that I do not infect another single person. Because all life is precious. And I must do my part. It means that I must do my part to help those who are in need. Because that's what we're supposed to do when we say lachaim to life. It's not just for me or for you, the other person whose glass I am clinking. No, it is for everybody and everything. Lachaim, we say, to life, for everything. And so that moderates my behavior. What do? Gemilut chasadim, deeds of kindness. That is what the world is waiting for. That's what God is waiting for. Us to do acts of kindness. Because that's what is needed. When cruelty is around us and cruelty surrounds us, our only response is kindness. Martin Luther King said that. Okay? It is love that is going to conquer darkness. It is love that is going to conquer hate. Hate and anger do not conquer hate. It only fuels the fire. And we have seen that in our streets. We have seen that in our nation. We have seen that in the world. And so gemilut chasadim, these deeds of kindness, that's all we've got left. If all life is precious, if we say lachaim and believe that, then that's what we are called upon to do. acts of kindness for our family, for our friends, for the stranger on the street, everyone. Because we're all in the same boat. And that's why we say, lachaim. We are in the boat of life. And it's incumbent upon all of us, to do our part while we are traveling together on this very tiny boat, on this Rosh Hashanah, as we enter the year 5781. May it be a year filled with gimilut chasadim from each and every one of us, and most importantly, may it be a year filled with chayim, with life. Shabbat Shalom, Shana Tova, and lachaim. We continue with the words of our Adoration, the Aleinu, which you can find in your Machzorim on page 83. Our calling is to praise the living source. Our duty is to make known the greatness of the one Creator, who trusts us to be guardians of the earth and messengers of Torah, who gives us a destiny shared with all human beings, and who binds our lives to theirs. And so we bend, bow, and give thanks before the Blessed One, whose realm is unfathomable, whose sovereignty over all makes all life holy and precious. We continue on page 87 in our Machzorim. Death will come. Its hand will not be stayed even an instant, nor can we enter into judgment with it. Our question, why, will go unanswered. But this does not mean that we are helpless in the face of death. We can and we do rob death of ultimate victory by living life as long as it is ours to live. To ask of death that it never come is futile, but it is not futility to pray that when death comes for us, it may take us from a world one corner of which is a little better because we were there. When we are dead and people weep for us and grieve, let it be because we touched their lives with beauty and simplicity. Let it not be said that life was good to us, but rather that we were good to life. And so at this time in our service, we call to mind those who share our physical world no more, those who live on in our hearts and in our memories. We call to mind those for whom we are observing the Shiva and Shloshim, the 7 and 30-day period, Elvira Amira's aunt of Sergio Sanchez Guzman, Marvin J. Gilman, uncle of Brad Kramer. Robert Weber, brother of Marlene Fink. Marvin First, uncle of Doug Kotkin. Phyllis Ryback Diamond, dear friend of Ted and Terry Levoot. And Edith Malkin, mother of Fred Malkin. And to Sergio, Brad, Marlene, Doug, Ted and Terry, and Fred, our deepest of condolences on the immediacy of the deaths of your friends and family members. To those names, we link the names of those whose yahrzeits have occurred during this past week. Carol Rafael Kulka, Gilbert Ulibari, Katie Berman, Fred Ender, Fred Horowitz, Gerda Levin Denwitt, Louis Levin, Paula Marcus, Robert Gillis, Susan Allen Basil, Phyllis Alberts, Samuel Klein, Ray Feuerman, Molly Siegel Fine, Anna Martha Lair, Donald Kessler, Morton Bogorod, David Granick, James Niemeyer, Saul Kritchmar, Martin Becker, Irving Feuerman, Fanny Roberts, and Max Lewis Levoot. To those names, we link the names of those for whom we are observing the Kaddish period: George Sachs, Adrian Henschel, Murray Gimbel, Margaret Hershkowitz, Dr. Gerhard Paskus, Jerry Robinson, Lillian Meisler de Salandis, Rebecca Lomelli, Dwayne Craven, Edith Wins, Cynthia Algra, Gloria Delatorre Wyckoff, Agnes Fuchs, Edward Weil, Nat Crotinger, David Post, Adam Marcus, Wilma Davis, Walda Mantell, Tyler Jason Gordon, Celia Atun, Rose Hemleben, Benjamin Lustig, Miriam Spanner, Victoria Torres, Roland Berger, David Zimmerman, Cleavon Steve Dyson, Harry Bass, and Martha Manriquez. If there's a loved one whom you are remembering, I invite you to share that name at this time. To those that we have named aloud and to those that we keep named in the quiet places of our hearts and memories, we link as well the names and memories of the men and women of our armed forces who have given their lives for our liberties and freedom, those who have given their lives for our safety here at home, members of our police, our firefighters, and other first responders, and members of the Israeli Defense Forces who have given their lives for the hope of peace. Zichronam levracha. May their memories always be for a blessing. As we share together the words of our Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lalmei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shemei d'kudusha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, Hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May all of us who mourn and all of us who are bereaved, may we find through God's eternal presence a source of strength, courage, and hope, above all a source of shalom, of peace, and let us all say, Amen. We conclude our service this evening with a song of hope, a song of hope that one day things will be better, that one day we will be able to gather here in our sanctuary and with our friends and with our family members, that one day we will set aside our hatred and our violence, that one day, just as has happened in the last few weeks with Israel entering into peace negotiations with the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain and other Arab countries signing up, there will be peace in our world, that one day all of this will happen.
Sometimes I lay
Again, thank you very much, Phil Carey, for all of your technical help and expertise. David Youngman, thank you so very much for being here with us and giving us our liaison communication. Dr. Ray Irwin, thank you. Cantor Ariel Goldfarb, thank you so very much. To all of you who have joined us, we wish you Shabbat Shalom, and more importantly, a Shana Tova. Here's to a very happy and healthy and different year ahead. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.